survive in front of nearly 500,000 Vietnamese people in Ba Dinh Square, Hanoi. After I had gained control of North Vietnam, when the U.S. dropped 2 atomic bombs in Japan, I saw the opportunity to take control because Japan was in control of my country during the time, and after they dropped the bomb, no one was in control. I tried to change my nation's history. I am born in Chi Minh, Annan, in a small central village in Vietnam. My father, his name is Nguyen Sinh Quay. He lost his job because he refused to learn the French language. I saw that the French people did not treat my people equally. My father, he taught me to resist French rule and continue to find a way to liberate my country. I took his words to heart. I planned it and was able to go out of my country to find different ideas in order to liberate my country. I traveled to France, England, the United States of America, China, and Russia. From each of these countries, I had to change my name because back in my country, I was wanted treason from the French. In China, I gained friendship. I established friendship with the Chinese leader because I saw that he had many plans similar to mine. In Russia, I gained ideas from Lenin and Marx. While I was in the U.S., I saw that immigrants had certain rights that my people in my country did not have. I went to England and I joined many socialist and nationalist parties. While I was in France, I went straight to Paris because that was where the decisions that are made for colonial affairs are. I tried to approach the peaceful way. I proposed to the French politicians, but they refused me. They wouldn't listen to me. I did not want to use violence at first because I feared that many lives would be lost. Because they refused me, I had no other choice but to use violence. I returned back to my country where I stayed there in the northern jungles, and I was able to start a secret organization. My organization's name was called Viet Minh. Most of the members in my country in my organization were poor, uneducated farmers. I was able to recruit them into my organization because I did not feel like I should have more power because I believe all men were created equal. I interacted with them, and soon they began to follow me. Besides the farmers, I was able to gather many Vietnamese people from all over my country into my organization. Along the way, I met a young man named Bao Xiong. I recruited him as a general. He had a great military mind. Together, he and I organized guerrilla warfare tactics. We trained our soldiers in the jungles of northern Vietnam. As we were training, I began to start a plan to liberate my country. I met with a French official and I told him if we had to go to war, we lose 10 men for every one that you lose. But in the end, we will win and you'll lose. I told this to him because I felt that my people are willing to fight for independence because they had a passion. Not like the French, they just want the money because my country was their most valuable colony. So I was proven right at the Battle of Dien Bien Phu when my people was able to liberate themselves from the French. This battle we did not win by ourselves. We gained outside help from the Chinese because as we established friendship with them, they allowed to help us. But during this time, the Chinese, they were strong supporters of communism. I did not want my country to look like a communist country because I feared that my country would find themselves in another war. Although this battle should have determined our independence, it didn't happen. My independence was to be determined at a peace conference in Geneva. I attended that conference, and at the conference, under the peace treaty terms, I had to divide my country agreed to this, and later I found out this is the worst mistake I have made. Under the treaty, my country was to have nationwide elections held, and the Americans promised an end to foreign intervention. It turns out that I was the leader in the North, and the Americans helped establish a strong leader in the South. This leader turns out to be a person that opposed me. As time came for the election to be held, I didn't find myself in an election. Instead, I found myself in another war, this time against the Americans and my own people. The Americans did not see me. The Americans saw me as a communist. They didn't see me as a person who just wanted to liberate this country. Although they did not see me as that, all I wanted to ever do was liberate my country. And as the war continued on,